Elon Musk's brain chip startup Neuralink has a backlog of 10,000 people hoping to get the brain-computer interface implanted in their skull, the company's president has said. Neuralink opened a patient registry on its website earlier this year, allowing people around the world to sign up for trials of the technology. There have already been 12 clinical trial patients who use the Neuralink devices to control computers with their thoughts. A further 13 people are expected to have the brain chip implanted by the end of the year. Only people living with paralysis from conditions like motor neuron disease or a spinal cord injury currently qualify for the trials. However, Mr. Musk claims that future iterations of the brain chip will offer people without disabilities to achieve a sort of symbiosis with artificial intelligence. The tech billionaire also says future capabilities could include streaming music directly to the brain, restoring vision for blind people, and enabling superhuman levels of communication through telepathy. It could even get to the point where you can upload your memories and essentially have a saved version of yourself, then download that into a robot body or a clone version of your original self, Mr. Musk said during a live stream in July. I'm really getting into sci-fi here, but I do think stuff like that will be possible, which would give people a form of immortality. Neuralink co-founder and president DJ Seo revealed the size of the company's waiting list in a research report issued by Morgan Stanley this week, which also warned of the ethical implications of the technology. While the topic of many sci-fi books and films, brain-computer interfaces are the new frontier for humanity and will entail a host of moral, ethical, and legal regulatory considerations along the way, it stated. The current N1 version of the Neuralink chip, which connects to a computer via Bluetooth, has allowed test patients to control a robotic arm, browse the web, and play video games like Mario Kart.
There's the book of Ezekiel 33, starting at 1. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet, and warn the people. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet, and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him, but he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come, and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So thou, son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth, and warn them for me. And we are indeed in some serious times. Jacob's trouble is on the horizon, and we can see that the ending of Esau's world is indeed upon us. First and foremost, before we get started, I want to thank Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson, and I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutation, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom, and help and pray that this quick lesson be edifying to the elect. So yeah, we're here. We are indeed at the end of the end. You know, Matthew 24 speaks about, what shall be the sign of the Lord's coming, wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. All of these things are happening as we speak. And one of the major prophecies that we're looking for is indeed the MO to the TB to be implemented. And they're getting people used to hearing about the CHIP more and more. So here it is. Elon Musk Neuralink says 10,000 patients have signed up for its brain CHIP, man. So hey, these people, they're gonna use the different celebrities, different athletes, your favorite actors, to promote this, man. To make it look like the new cool thing to be linked with technology. But that's all a part of worshiping the beast, though. That's what they're not telling the people. They're just making it seem like it's cool. And that's why it's important for the prophets to come out, for the watchmen to come out and warn the sheep of what this is and to avoid it at all costs. So let's read a little bit of this article, get a couple of scriptures, and that'll be the lesson. So this is from Independent. Elon Musk's Neuralink says 10,000 patients have signed up for its brain CHIP. Tech billionaire wants to use implants to achieve a sort of symbiosis with AI. This was published yesterday. It says Elon Musk's brain CHIP startup Neuralink has a backlog of 10,000 people hoping to get the brain computer interface BCI implanted in their skull, the company's president has said. And this just shows you how far gone these people are, man. Their whole, as let me get that. Let's get that. These people are out of their fucking mind. This is Isaiah 60:2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Right? So gross darkness is covering these people, man, for 10,000 people to be waiting. And you know they're majority fucking Edomites, because these niggas are cooked anyway. You know, but they're waiting to have a damn C-hip implanted in their brain so they can stream music or you know, just instead of typing on their phone asking Google something, they could just think about it. And I mean, how lazy do you have to be, man? But that's Esau for you, man. That's the caveman, just the laziest motherfucker that walked the earth and then has the nerve to fucking call other people lazy. Crazy, man. Says Neuralink opened a patient registry on its website earlier this year, allowing people around the world to sign up for trials of the technology. There have already been 12 clinical trial patients who used the Neuralink devices to control computers with their thoughts. A further 13 people are expected to have the brain CHIP implanted by the end of this year. Only people living with paralysis from conditions like motor neuron disease or a spinal cord injury currently qualify for the trials. However, Mr. Musk claims that the future iterations of the brain CHIP will offer people without disability to achieve a sort of symbiosis with AI. The tech billionaire also says future capabilities could include streaming. Oh, this is like exactly what the video said. So they just took this and then put it in AI, but you know, you get the point though. You know, it says you could even it could even get to the point where you can upload your memories and essentially have a saved version of yourself, then download that into a robot body or a clone version of yourself. Mr. Musk said during a live stream, I'm really getting into sci-fi here, but I do think stuff like that will be possible, which would give people a form of immortality, right? So this is all about the birthright, man. Because if Esau would have wouldn't have been so fucking hasty, so like it's my food and I want it now, spirit, how they have now, they would have got the birthright. It was all meant to play out that way, through the spirit and power Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi. It was supposed to play out that way. But in hindsight, if they would have just fasted for a little bit, they would have had it. But them being so fucking impatient and so impulsive and so, carnal, what did he say? Let me get it. Let's get it. What's that? Let me see. 25, all right. Genesis 25, and I'll start at I'll start at 27. Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, right? The so-called white man, as they hunt for sport. They kill just for fun. Not even there's a lot of times where they don't even eat the animal that they killed. They just kill it, chop its head off, and put it as a trophy on their wall, man. They hunt for sport. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. You always see that, right? As I speak right now doing this lesson, I'm outside at my favorite pond. And you're always seeing some damn Edomite woman with fucking leggings on running every fucking where, all the day long. And then Edomites walking their dogs just outside. That's Esau for you. And what's Jake doing? Chilling in the crib. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. We like to chill in the crib. Yeah, we come out and chill or whatever, but not like Esau. Esau they're the ones, sitting up in trees waiting for a deer to walk by and shit for fucking hours. That's them. Cunning hunter. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. Right? He was out there hunting deer all the time, or whatever, everything. But Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. He was hungry. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, right? He didn't even finish cooking it. For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, which means red. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And this is what Esau said back to him. This is how carnal that these devils are. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. Just extra dramatic. Nigga, you can't wait for fucking 30 more minutes, an hour for me to finish cooking this. You're just that fucking dramatic. It's my money and I want it now, spirit. That you think that you're going to perish in an hour? And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob says, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. So they sold their birthright, but they're mad. And when you continue to read in 27, right, Esau is mad because he got supplanted by Jacob, but he sold his birthright. How the hell are you going to sell it, get what you want, right? Because look at, then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drank and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So he sold his birthright. He despised his birthright. He says, what is it going to do for me? I'm about to die. And then when he goes, then he gets angry when he actually, when Jacob gets blessed with the birthright. So he was like, you thought you was going to pull a fast one? That's exactly how these goddamn crackers act, man. They want their cake and eat it too, as they say. They want to screw you over, and then they want to screw you over and still play the victim at the same time. Like the elder Yahawah said the other day, they're the villain and the victim. That's Esau, man. I've seen countless videos of Karens and Kens, as they call them now, falsely accusing Jake. And then when Jake retaliates against their ass because they fucking with him, then they start playing the victim. Every single time. That's what these devils do, man. That's just the nature of this beast. So now they're trying to achieve immortality. which would give people a form of immortality. So they really think that they're going to be able to achieve immortality after they sold their birthright. You know? But we're here to warn, because they, as the scriptures say, they what's that, Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14. And I'll go straight to the point. 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So these devils really think that they can achieve godlike status on this planet, man. And they're using their pseudoscience and their AI to try and accomplish that. But it's gonna be to no avail, man. So let's get some scriptures, and this is why it's so important for us brothers to give warning onto you Israelites out there, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and our fellow brethren that were scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but their seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's important for us to give warning, because we have to remember that the point of this sihip is to pledge allegiance, you know, to Esau, man, to the beast. And Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi do not take kindly to that. And I'm going to read some scriptures to prove that, you know. Through the fear of the Lord, we persuade men. So let's just get a couple scenarios of what will happen to the ones that choose to worship the beast, man, to take that sihip, and let's see what happens to you. So let's get this first. Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma, a mark, right? The Greek word is charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? The brain sihip. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Right? So let's see what the penalty is for taking that sihip and not trusting in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, because let me see, Salakia. Alright, cool. Let me get this scripture while I'm thinking about it. Because they're going to come with these sweet words, but it's going to be to your destruction. This is Isaiah 10:20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant, right, the elect of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more stay upon him that smote them. Who's the one that smotes us every day? Esau. Why in the world would anybody in their right mind, especially Israelite, man or woman, trust in a nation of people that have shown their hatred through so many ways to this very day? They've shown how much they hate you. Why would you stay upon him? To trust, and when you look up the word to stay upon, it means to lean upon, to trust in. If you have crutches, you know, and one of your feet, you know, you have a sprained ankle or whatever, when you put those crutches down, you're trusting, you're staying upon those crutches. You trust that they won't buckle and fucking break, and you won't come down and smash your fucking face. So if you trusted in a devil that showed you that they hate you, don't be surprised when you trust in them and they backstab you, man, because that's just their nature. That's their nature. You know? That's the nature of the caveman. You know? It's all throughout the scriptures. Scriptures talk about, remember them, O Lord, that said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Destroy it. That's how they feel about you. Destroy everything about you, Jake. So why would you trust in a people like that? It makes no fucking sense. And that's why 2/3 of our people are going to get destroyed, because they're going to go, trust in Egypt, and it's going to be to their ultimate demise, instead of trusting in the Holy One of Israel, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant, that's why the elect, that's who us sincere brothers are preaching to gather the elect to the Lord. That's what it's all about. It's not about the whole nation of Israel. Yes, the whole nation of Israel will be saved, but they'll come back through the loins of the elect once the kingdom is established, man. But they have 2/3 got to perish on this side because they're too far gone. Scriptures talk about how, why should you be smitten anymore? You will revolt more and more. These Jakes is through, man. I watched a video this morning. Jake is through. Completely through. Out of here. Cooked, broiled, well done, past well done, burnt, through, And it shall come to pass, Isaiah 10:20, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. We're not going to trust in this damn devil. The elect are not going to trust in this devil, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So while everybody else is freaking out, going to get, hipped up, to buy and sell and all that, the elect, in Lord's will, we're of that number. We're going to continue to trust in the Lord, man. The hell with Esau and what he got going on, man. We trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. Fuck everything that Esau got going on. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck these niggas and all that, man. They're going to get destroyed. Why would you trust in a nation that can't even save themselves? The Lord created them. They didn't create themselves. Let them tell it. A lot of them don't even believe in the Most High. The Lord hates them, man. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Why would you trust in a nation of people that the Lord hates? That makes no sense. But if you do, let this be a warning, because Ezekiel 33, right? We are commanded to give warning. Let's see what the penalty is for if you trust in oppression and trust in the devil. Revelation 14:9, you take that, see it. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand, the same one that took it shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, no mercy, into the cup of his indignation, which means righteous anger, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Right? And what's that fire and brimstone? Let's get matter of fact, let's get Zechariah 14. I think it's 12. Yep. Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. Now, what can do something like that? The nuclear destruction that's coming to Babylon, man. And the ones that worship the beast instead of worshiping the Holy One of Israel, they will be left here and melted. Ezekiel 22:20. As they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. The Lord said the people that worship the beast are going to be melted. And even before that, what's going to happen to them? Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and gruesome sore upon the men which had the charagma, the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So you're going to get a gruesome sore too. So it's nothing but pain, anguish, lamentations, mourning, and woe coming to anybody that worships the beast, man. And Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi are not playing, man. They are indeed a power to be feared. So yeah, I mean, that's, that's pretty much it, You're commanded to blow the trumpet, give warning, and whether you hear or forbear, the prophets are doing their job, giving warning. The watchmen are giving their warning. So, people are lining up to take this, C-hip, this charagma, But for you sincere brothers and sisters, don't be one of them, man. The devil's going to come down with great wrath. They're going to collapse, society as we know it. They're going to make it impossible to use any type of currency outside of this, but that's where your faith has to kick in. That's where your trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi has to kick in. Because the Lord said that he will feed his servants. He will make sure they drink. Scriptures say that the angels of the Lord encampeth around them that fear him and delivereth them. So trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. We're going to be good. Lord's will, we're of that number, man. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to report on this. I hope and pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi once again for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakal Kadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of this bitch. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom, abab abal, and kwam yasharallah. Hey, shalom. To the next one.